Redfin just published an article saying that the housing market is going down, yet we're seeing reports on Yahoo Finance and other websites that the housing market is going up. So which one is it? Well, I'm going to get into all of that in this Silicon Valley Snapshot. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Danny Gould. I'm the CEO of the Selling Silicon Valley Group. Over the last 8 years, I've sold well over $200 million worth of residential real estate here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And it's a very difficult and confusing time, challenging time to be a home buyer, a home seller. It's confusing because the data and what we're seeing are often in contradiction with one another. What we're seeing with the economy, what we're seeing with the layoffs, what we're seeing in offer situations. There are so many conflicting data points, and I'm here to break down all of those data points for you and help provide some clarity while also tackling some of the myths that are being distributed by the general media here. So we're going to get into all of that. But before we do that, if you're a home buyer in today's marketplace and you're trying to figure out, is now the right time for me to buy? And you're looking for a comprehensive data set to assist you, you can text the word data plus the zip code or the area or the neighborhood that you're looking in, and we will get that information sent straight to your inbox. And if you're a home seller in today's marketplace and you're trying to figure out what to price your property for, trying to figure out, should I even sell right now? Should I be holding off? All of those questions will be answered when you text the word data plus your property address to the number down below. All right, so there's some conflicting headlines right now. Redfin just published an article that says that as of March 2023, home prices are down 3.3% to last year. Now that is a US average. And I can tell you that in the Bay Area, we are far outperforming the average. And if you watched last week's snapshot, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. I showed some very real life, real-time data where we're seeing as of March of this year, 2023, home prices in different communities around the Bay Area going from 15 to 25% down year over year. That is a massive, massive discount. Now, if you're a home buyer, you should be jumping up and down and running to the nearest house to try and put an offer in. But unfortunately, there are 20 other buyers lined outside that door with an offer in hand too. And what we're quickly seeing is the market recalibrating and getting back up to that ceiling that was already established in March and April of last year. Yahoo Finance just pointed out that there has been an unexpected increase in housing prices over the last couple of weeks and months. The question becomes why? And the article here on Yahoo Finance astutely points out that the main actor appears to be inventory. So the situation that we're in right now is directly related, and this is true not just for the US housing market, but more specifically here for the Bay Area housing market, is the amount of inventory that we have right now is just so low, and the demand that we have is far outpacing the supply that the Bay Area housing market currently has to offer. What's interesting, and this is worth noting, is that the inventory levels are so low right now. Like, for example, in Santa Clara County, we are seeing inventory levels that are lower than at the height of the pandemic in 2020 when everyone was retracting and pulling back. We're seeing less homes on the market now than we were back then. In Santa Clara County, right when COVID hit and everyone retracted, we saw 1,010 homes on the market. And right now there are about 749 homes on the market today. Now, if we remember just how crazy the market was last year at this time, we are seeing inventory levels similar to the inventory levels that we saw at the same time last year, which, by the way, were like historically low. And the demand was that much higher because the rates were that much lower. But the rates have curbed the demand quite a bit, but clearly not enough to overcome the ridiculously low amount of homes that are actually on the market. And that is the market in a nutshell. Yes, home prices are down year over year, but month over month, we are seeing pretty substantial gains. In my estimation, by the end of summer, we will see pretty much every market in the Bay Area rebound to where they were before the interest rate hike in May of 2022. That's the way that the market is trending right now. You're seeing prices go up. And if you watched last week's snapshot, which, by the way, if you have not watched last week's snapshot, it was, in my opinion, very insightful. And we went over a lot of data in specific communities. And what we're seeing right now are prices. There are homes that are pending right now that are exceeding what they were selling for back in 2022. So in some markets, we're actually seeing $200,000 to $300,000 to $400,000 jumps in pricing in a singular month. Some markets bouncing back to pre-interest rate hike prices in a single month. We are seeing that right now. So if you are a home buyer and you come across a situation, or you're coming across a home that is listed, or you have the potential to get for even, at this point, like 10% less than you could at the same time last year, that is a phenomenal deal. And I would hop on it sooner rather than later, because chances are in the next 3 months, you are going to build a substantial amount of equity, because the buyers around you, the buyers that buy after you, are going to help build your equity for you. If you are a home seller, contrary to even what I said a week ago, I think that there are definitely some good things happening right now. And if you are planning to sell at all in the next 12 months, this could be the best time or the best conditions to sell in. It may not be the time where you get the best price. You might be able to get a better price like in the fall of this year, but it might be a more difficult or more challenging market to sell in, meaning instead of like 15 buyers out the door, you might have 3. Now, why would this be the case? Well, the first one and the most obvious one would be what the Fed decides to do with rates. So if we see rates go up, then we could absolutely see a decrease in demand, and prices might go up slower than they've been going up over the last few weeks. Layoffs could impact both supply and demand, meaning we could see demand come down a little bit over the next few months if layoffs continue to happen, but we could also see supply go up. We could see some sellers being forced to sell, or some homeowners being forced to sell due to loss of job. Now, with speculation of layoffs leading to a recession, and I've covered this many times before, but just to refresh your memory, typically during recessionary periods, the housing market tends to perform very strongly, and actually, in most cases, it's gone up. And the reason is because the Fed usually uses rates as a way to stimulate consumer spending. Rates come down, buyers re-enter the marketplace, prices go up. And that could very well be the case. I don't suspect that that's going to happen over the next 3 months. I don't suspect that that would happen over the next 6 months. But this could be something that we see if Q2 and Q3, for example, are both in the red in terms of GDP, or if Q3, Q4 are in the red in terms of GDP, we could absolutely see that. As you may or may not know, GDP went up in Q1, so there is no way for us at the end of Q2 to be in what we would consider a recession. So if a recession does occur, it would need to happen over the next 2 to 3 quarters or so. But all that being said, if you look at the data right now and you look at what's happening, the market was and currently is still selling at a discount. You can still get homes at a good price right now, better in most cases than you could a year ago today. The smartest buyers were the ones that bought in January and February of this year. They got amazing deals. In December of last year, they got incredible deals. And if you watched my videos back then, I did say that this is probably going to be the best it gets for you. Well, it looks like I'm going to be right. Now, looking to the future, the longer we wait on the buy side, likely the higher pain you're going to experience. There's talk of interest rates even coming down over the next couple of weeks. And if that happens, all hell is going to break loose. We're going to start to see 30 and 40 offer scenarios on a lot of properties. I can almost guarantee it. And if you're a home seller, the conditions right now are extraordinarily favorable. And over the next few weeks, I will continue to update you and keep you up to speed on what the timing should look like. But in my estimation, if you want to sell in the most favorable of conditions, meaning the less headache, the less stress, less contingencies, buyers coming in and doing what you want them to do, this is probably going to be the best time to do it in 2023. I don't know about 2024 and beyond, because I imagine that by the late summer, early fall, we're going to see things start to stabilize again, as they always do. There's ebbs and flows in the market. And so you might get a slightly higher price at the end of 2023, like in the fall or so, but it might come with some added stipulations that wouldn't necessarily be there if you were to sell now. Now, I know some of you who are watching this video, and you might have watched last week's video, and you're like, well, Danny, like last week you said, most sellers should wait. Well, you know what? The market is super dynamic, and week over week and month over month, things change very quickly in the Bay Area. And you can count on me to continue to bring you the most up-to-date housing statistics to make sure that you're not making the wrong decision, and that you're making calculated, smart, educated, and informed decisions. If you made it this far in the video and you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and give us a thumbs up while you're at it. Costs you nothing, helps you stay informed whenever we post a new video on here, and also helps me get in front of more awesome Bay Area home buyers and sellers just like you. This is Danny Gould. I'm selling Silicon Valley, and I will catch all of you in the next Silicon Valley Snapshot.